Good morning, students. In this video lecture, we would study the Ampere's circular law, and with the help of Ampere's circular law, we would derive the magnetic field because of a long solenoid. So let's start with Ampere's circular law. What is Ampere's circular law? As we have studied in the electrostatic, the Gauss law, and what is the main purpose of Gauss law, we have seen there that with the help of Gauss law we can find the electric field intensity easily, and where the symmetry of the charges, where the symmetry of the field present, and we can use the Gauss law instead of Coulomb's law. So in the same way, in the same manner, Ampere's circular law is used when we require the magnetic field and the magnetic field is symmetric. So we could use the Ampere's circular law so that we can easily find out the magnetic field at a particular point due to a current carrying wire. Okay, so what is Ampere's circular law? Let's define it. It is first integral B dot dl equal to mu naught times I, you can say I net current. So what it means, which type of integration it is? It is closed integration. This is closed integration and this is dl. So it is with respect to line. So it is a closed loop integration, closed curve integration, closed line integration over a closed loop. So we can say integration of magnetic field, integration of line integration, this is dl. In mathematics there are three integrations: line wise, surface wise and volume wise. So it is dl. There may be dA area wise and there may be dV volume wise. So it is a line wise, but is a over a closed curve. So this symbol is denoting the line integration is over a closed curve. So the line integration of magnetic field over a closed curve, closed loop over a closed curve or loop over a closed curve or loop is equal to mu naught times the net current mu naught times the net current passing through the closed loop, One more point we can add: in air or vacuum, because this is mu naught. If there is a medium magnetic, it would be mu. So in air or vacuum, line integration dl, line integration of magnetic field B over a closed curve is equal to the mu naught times the net current passing through the closed loop. This is the theoretical part of Ampere's circular law, and this is the mathematical version of this statement. So if you ask the Ampere's circular law, you have to first tell this statement and then you have to write the mathematical expression of Ampere's circular law. And for the learning purpose, if you keep remember this mathematical expression, you can easily make the statement from this mathematical expression. Okay? So this is the Ampere's circular law. Good morning, students. In this video lecture, we would continue Ampere's circular law and the derivation of solenoid magnetic field because of the long solenoid. So what is Ampere's circular law? As I told you, Ampere's circular law you are seeing here. The line integration of the magnetic field around a closed loop. This is the closed integration around a closed loop is equal to the mu naught times the net current threading to the, you can say net current passing through the loop. So there is a statement in air or vacuum, we can say line integration of magnetic field, over a closed loop, closed loop is equal to the mu naught times the net current passing through the loop. And this Ampere circular law is just like the Gauss law, because we have seen that in the Gauss law, the application of Gauss law was finding the electric field intensity where the field is symmetric because of the charge distribution. In the same way, we would find the magnetic field B where the magnetic field is symmetric, and with the help of this Ampere circular law we would easily find out the magnetic field. And for finding the magnetic field because of the Ampere circular law, we would assume an Amperian loop just like the Gaussian surface, but there was Gaussian surface because we are taking the where the integration is dA, area integration, but here it is the line integration. That's why we would take a Amperian loop. And the properties of Amperian loop because of this integration should be the angle between the length element and the magnetic field either equal to 0, 90 or 180. If the angle is between the 0, 90 and 180, we have to assume the Amperian loop in such a way the angle between the P and D must be 0, 90 and 180. And the benefit of these angles is either this integration would be 0 or it would be 1 or minus 1. Because B dot dl we know that dot product of two vectors is mod A mod B cos theta, and theta is the angle between both the vectors. Here B and dl are the vectors in between the angle is theta, and the value of theta be 0 is 90 or 180. And if it is 90, we know that cos 90 is 0, so integration would be 0. When we derive the magnetic field, because by the help of Ampere circular law, you will see how we would assume an Amperian loop. So first of all, we would derive the Ampere circular law. So let's start to derivation of Ampere circular law. Let's take a long wire current carrying wire, and current is flowing, let's say in this direction. This is the long current carrying wire, long current carrying metallic wire, and the current is flowing like this. And suppose at a distance r, this is the distance r from the wire, we know that the magnetic field, the magnitude of the magnetic field we have already derived for a long wire means infinite length wire. B is mu naught I 2 pi r. This is the magnetic field because of this infinite length wire and carrying the current I at a distance r. Magnetic field is mu naught I upon 2 pi r. This is the magnitude of the magnetic field. And what is the direction of the magnetic field at this point? For finding the direction, we could either use Maxwell's screw rule, we can use right-hand rule, palm rule. These are the rules. Let's say we would going to use the palm rule. So this is the palm and this is the direction of the current. Thumb would be in the direction of the current. So let's say like this, and this is also. But our palm at this, because we are finding the magnetic field at this point, so we would place our hand like this. And palm is inside there, so it would be normal to this board, means magnetic field would be normal to this blackboard. And if it is here, so we would place our hand like this, so palm is perpendicularly normally to this be dot, and in this region it would be cross. Now we would assume an amperial loop. So what would be the amperial loop here? Actually magnetic field, because of this wire, suppose this is a wire, let's say this is a wire and the current is flowing like this, and magnetic field direction at this point is this way, at this point is this way, so it would be round a circle. So we would take a circular loop, we would take a circular amperial loop of radius r, and the magnetic field at this point is perpendicularly, here we can say it is tangential to this loop, and we would take a current element. Let's say this is current, this is the element, this is not the current element I am saying, this is a simple length element, and we can say this is the dl vector of this amperial curve. We are going to take the length element dl vector, and the magnetic field is also along this amperial curve at each and every point. It is along this dl vector. Suppose we would take the dl vector here, it is in this direction, so magnetic field would be in the same direction, because of this wire magnetic field is in this way. So we would take a circle of radius r. This is the amperial curve, amperial loop. This is the amperial loop. For assuming the amperial loop, we have choices that the magnetic field at each point on the amperial loop would be constant. B dot dl cos theta. Angle I have told you 0, 90 or 90, and the magnitude of the magnetic field at each point on the amperial curve should be same. And you can say this is the distance r, distance is same, so the magnitude of the magnetic field would be also same at each and every point. Now apply integration, closed integration, because this is the closed loop, this is the closed integration. B dot dl. Let's solve this. So it would be B mod E, magnitude of B, magnitude of dl vector and cos theta. What is B? B is mu naught I upon 2 pi r at each and every point. So we are going to put B is mu naught I 2 pi r, and this is dl. What about theta? Theta is the angle between dl and B, which is 0 here. So this is cos 0. Now it would be mu naught I 2 pi r cos 0 1. This is dl, and you can see here I is constant, and 2 pi r is also constant at a distance r. So this term would come out from the integration mu naught I upon 2 pi r integration dl. Now what is this value? Closed integration of dl means all the length element are continuously adding over the closed curve. So what is the length of, what is the sum of continuous sum of all the dl element? So it is the circumference of this current loop, and the circumference of this current loop of radius r is 2 pi r. So it would be mu naught I upon 2 pi r into 2 pi r. 2 pi r and 2 pi r cancel out. So finally what we get? Mu naught times I. So we have proved that integration of B dot dl is what? It is equal to mu naught times I. I is what? The net current flowing, the net current passing to this amperial curve, and you can see current I is entering and current I is going. So the net current passing through this amperial curve is I. So this is the simple proof of Ampere circular law. Now we could derive the magnetic field because of a long solenoid. So let's start. due to a long solenoid. Let's draw a figure of the solenoid. This is a solenoid. These are the number of turns of the wire, and current is flowing. Suppose I0 current is flowing, and we would like to find the magnetic field due to this current carrying long solenoid. Here the number of turns are very large, and we would like to find the magnetic field inside this solenoid. So first of all, we would change this figure like this way. You are seeing that current in the upward section is going. If this is a solenoid, let's say this is a cylinder at which we are rounding the wire. So if the current, we are rounding like this, we are wrapping the wire like this, and the current is flowing like this, in this way. So upper side current is going inward, and from the downside current is coming outward. From upward side current is going inside, and from the downward side it is coming outside. So we know that the direction for inward is cross. So this is cross, and again cross dot. Current going inside, current is coming outside, going inside, coming outside. So these are the directions of current. Now we will find the magnetic field. Let's say first of all we would observe what is the direction of the magnetic field, inside, outside, here and here. Okay, we have three regions, first, second and third. In all these three regions we would first observe the direction of the magnetic field, because it is a vector quantity, and for handling with the vector quantity we would first analyze the vector quantity. So let's say at a point here, magnetic field, because of all this part, current is going inward, and we have to find the magnetic field here. So direction of the magnetic field, let's say an element this, and the current is I0. This is I0 entering, I0 coming, I0 entering, I0 coming, I0 entering, I0 coming, I0 entering, I0 coming here, I0 entering, I0 coming here. So let's take a single part, and current is going inward, and we would like to find the magnetic field at this point. So we are going to use the Maxwell's screw rule to define the direction of the magnetic field at this point, and we would the upper part of, let's see this, the upper part of this screw, because magnetic field is in the direction upward. So we would take the upper part and take a point on this upper part of this screw, and let's see in which direction it is moving. This upper part is moving in which direction. We are taking just a single point on this upper part, and we are going to analyze in which direction it is moving when we move the screw. So current is inward, so we would move the screw like this. In this way, this would go inside. So the screw is going inside in the direction of the current, and upper part is moving in this direction. So because of these elements, magnetic field is in this direction. Magnetic field is in this direction, and because of these elements, what is the direction of the magnetic field? Let's see this. But here we would not rotate the screw like this, because this is coming outward, and we would take the upper part also consider So the contribution of this, because of these elements, is in opposite direction, and we are seeing here the distance of these elements from this point is less, means the magnitude of the magnetic field because of this would be large because of this. So overall here the magnetic field, the net magnetic field, resultant magnetic field because of all of this is subtraction of these two elements. So the magnitude of the magnetic field finally reduced, and it would be magnitude would be very less, would be very less. So the resultant direction would be in this direction. The resultant of these two finally would be in this direction because magnetic field because of this is dominating, and because of this is very less because this is the distance of these elements from this point is large, and the distance is large, then the magnetic field this point would be less. So the resultant of magnetic field because of all this would be finally in this direction, but the magnitude would be less. In the same way, in this region, magnetic field, let's take where is the magnetic field. Because of this part, let's see, place the screw here, and now we would observe the lower part. We would take a point on the lower part. So observe the lower part, in which direction it is moving when we move the screw, and current is coming outward, so we would move the screw like this, in this way. So the lower part is going in this direction, this way. So lower part is going in this direction like this, and because of this one, we would consider the lower part. Now we would move the screw here, so the lower part is going here. But the magnitude of this magnetic field because of this element would be large as compared to this. So the resultant magnetic field would be in this direction, but the magnitude of magnetic field would be less. Finally, inside the region of the inside the region in the solenoid, what is the magnitude? What is the direction of the magnetic field? Because of this magnetic field, place the screw like this and see the lower part. And when we move the screw here like this, because this is inward, so we would move the screw inward, and the lower part you can see moving in this direction. So the magnitude of the direction of the magnetic field in this direction because of these elements. Now because of these elements, let's see. Now we would observe the upper part, because at this point this is from here, this is in the upward direction. So we would take a point in the upward part of this screw and see where it is moving, and we would move the screw like this in opposite direction. And upper part is moving in the same direction, that is, it is also moving in this direction. So inside the solenoid, we are seeing there both the magnetic field because of this and this is in the same direction. It means they are finally adding. So the strength of the magnetic field is significant inside the solenoid, not outside the solenoid. You are seeing here. Okay. So the final of these two would be resultant would be sum of these magnetic fields, and it would be significant. It would be large inside the solenoid. So we have found out finally what is the direction of the magnetic field outside, inside, and in this region. Now we would assume an empirical curve, empirical loop, and we have conditions. Theta would be the 0, 90, 180 element. So what would be the Amperian curve? This is our Amperian curve. This is a simple rectangle. This is a rectangular Amperian curve. This is a rectangular Amperian loop. This is a rectangular Amperian loop, and named it as A, B, C, D. And take the direction of the Amperian curve like this. Now integrate over this. Integrate over this. So let's integrate. Actually, we want to find the magnetic field inside, because the inside we have seen that magnitude of the magnetic field is significant, and this point A and B is taking at a large distance from this solenoid, and we have seen that outside this region, either in this region, magnitude of the magnetic field is very less, and if you take this AB length very far distance from this solenoid, then the magnitude becomes very negligible. So that's why we have taken the length of this Amperian curve very large, so that this AB is at a very large distance, and the magnitude of the magnetic field at this point, direction is obvious in this direction, magnetic field, but the magnitude of magnetic field is very negligible, so we can neglect the magnitude, we can neglect the magnetic field at this AB length. And let's start finding the closed integration B dot dl. So closed integration B dot dl is solved out by taking this closed loop integration into the line element A to B B dot dl plus B to C B dot dl plus C to D B dot dl plus D to A B dot dl. So this closed loop integration of line integration is solved by taking all the parts which are making this closed loop. So A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A. Let's see B dot dl for A to B. For A to B, B is in this direction as we have already observed, but the magnitude of the magnetic field is very less. Angle between the B and dl in this, for this dl is in this direction, for this dl is in this direction, for this BC dl is in this direction, and for C to D dl is in this direction. So the angle between the B and dl, if we talk about all the angle, it is 0, obvious 0 for A to B. But the magnitude is very small negligible. We have taken this Amperian length of this Amperian loop very large. So that's why this integration would be 0. So integration of A to B B dot dl equal to 0 because magnitude of magnetic field B vector, magnitude of B vector is very negligible at a far distance, at a large distance. So magnitude of the magnetic field is very negligible at a large distance. So we can neglect this contribution. This is 0, becomes 0. Now what about B to C B dot dl? Let's see. For this whole part, magnitude B dot dl is not constant as we can see, but the angle is, this is the direction of the magnetic field, and for all the small element dl, the magnetic angle between the B and dl is what? Dl is in this direction. Suppose this is dl, small part. Dl is in this direction. This dl in this direction. So this is dl. This is magnetic field. This is dl. So the angle between the dl and magnetic field is 90, and we know that the B dot dl is B dl cos theta, and cos 90 is 0. So that's So the angle between DL and B is again 90 for this D2A. So it would also be equal to 0. So what we have left? We have only left C to D, B dot DL. It means what we want to find? We want to find the magnetic field inside the solenoid. So we have only this term left. This term left because of we have taken this ampere number of large distance, large n. So that's why contribution, magnetic field contribution because of this AB length is 0 because magnitude is very less, and so only part we have left is C to D, B dot dl. So let's solve this C to D, B dot dl. So it is B dl cos theta. And what is the angle between dl and B? Magnetic field is in this direction and dl is also in this direction. So the theta is 0. So theta is 0, cos 0 is 1. So we have only integration C to D, B dl. C to D, B dl. And distance of the current element from here, this part and this part is same. So the magnitude of the magnetic field B would be constant. So it would be, we can take this term out, C to D dl. And if we take the CD is x, let's take CD equal to x. It means width of this rectangular amperial loop is we are taking as x. So all the dl are adding and it is finally the length of CD. So this is what? This is finally the length of CD and which is x. So the magnetic field is Vx. So we have solved this integration B dot dl for this empirical curve, and what we have got? We have got Bx. So B dot dl is finally equal to Bx. Now integration B dot dl over this closed loop is equal to Bx. And we have already from the Ampere circular law B dot dl equal to mu naught times I net. If inside this solenoid there is no magnetic material, air or vacuum we can say, so it is mu naught. If there is magnetic material, we can say here mu. So it is mu naught times I net. I net is what? The net current passing through this curve. So this is the curve, and what is the net current passing through this curve? You are seeing here. For that we have to define a term small n. Small n is what? Number of turns per unit length. N is what? Number of turns per unit length. 1 meter length में जितने number of turns हैं, that is called small n. Okay. And you are seeing here this. Let's say there are these terms, and this current is I naught, and I naught. So in this length x, how many number of turns enclosed by this amperian curve? How many number of turns are enclosed by this amperian loop? So for finding that, we would multiply n to x. N is number of turns per unit length, and x is the width of this amperian curve. And from here to here, in this region, in this length, the number of turns are enclosing. So nx is the total number of turns enclosed by enclosed by Amperian loop. Okay, NX is what? Total number of turns enclosed by Amperian loop. And we know that from each turn, I naught current is passing. From each turn, I naught. So this is I naught. These all I naught current is entering, I naught coming out. So from each turn, I naught current is passing. So the total current which is enclosing by this Amperian curve is NX I naught. Because NX number of turns are enclosed by this Amperian curve, and from each turn I naught current is entering and I naught current is coming out, and we have taken only entering part. So I naught current is entering, so there are NX number of turns, that's why NX I naught current is entering from here, we can say passing from this empirical curve. So this is the net amount of current which is passing. So I current is NX I naught. So let's put this value here, NX I naught. So it is equal to mu naught NX I naught. So finally what we get, this is equal to Bf, this is also equal to this, both these terms will be equal. Bx equal to mu naught Nx I naught, x to x cancel out, B equal to mu naught N I naught. So this is the formula. This is the formula for finding the magnitude of magnetic field inside this long solenoid. Inside this long solenoid, mu naught N I naught. And you are seeing here in this formula, N is number of turns per unit length. It is constant value. This is also constant. It means magnitude of the magnetic field is not depending on the length and not depending on the cross section of this solenoid. So it means inside the solenoid, magnetic field is, we can say, uniform. Inside the solenoid, magnetic field is uniform because it is not depending on the length and it is also not depending on the cross section, radius, we can say, because these terms are not here. So the magnetic field and constant, and we know that in the electric field, if we want to draw the electric field, uniform electric field, we know that the distance between all the electric field lines must be same. Distance between all the electric field lines must be same for the uniform electric field, intensity electric field. In the same way for the magnetic field, so how we would draw the magnetic field inside this? So you are seeing here, direction is like this. So you are seeing here, in between the solenoid, inside the solenoid, the magnetic field is uniform, and at the ends, these are the ends, there is non-uniformity created at the ends. We would not consider the effect of ending positions. So this is finally magnetic field, magnitude mu naught and I naught, and at the ends magnetic field, as we have seen the derivation of this finite length wire, and at the ends magnitude of the magnetic field is just becoming half. So here at the end, magnitude of the magnetic field is 1 by 2 mu naught n I naught. This is the at the end, B at the end. This is in between, inside the solenoid, in between the solenoid. Magnitude is what? It is approximately, it is uniform constant mu naught n I naught. It is not depending on